Improving the coherence of your draft. In the revision process, we've been focusing on two areas. Number one, your content, your ideas, and the second is organization. And coherence is an important part of this idea of organization. When thinking of this idea of coherence, the glue that holds your paper together, we'll focus on two levels. First, how do your paragraphs work individually? The second level of coherence is how do your paragraphs work together? You're thinking about not only the effectiveness of an individual paragraph and the way it is organized, but also then how are these paragraphs connected, organized and connected to support your purpose? What is the glue that holds them together? Are each of your paragraphs unified? Do all the sentences support the main idea? Do you have any sentences that are going the wrong way with the flow of the paragraph? You can take those out. Think about the paragraph as a separate entity. When you're looking at your individual paragraphs, think about the idea of SEE. Do you tell your point, but then more importantly, show it? Do you state, explain, extend, and then elaborate with details that show? This adds the depth and complexity to your paper. Use transition words and phrases to make connections between sentences and paragraphs. This is the simplest and most effective way to improve the flow of your writing. Transitions are important and can be effective, and they can be as simple as a single word or phrase. And there are many of these that you can use. Use them to show a contrast, such words as however, nevertheless, otherwise, on the contrary, despite, in opposition to, on the other hand, are effective transitions. Another group of transition words help you add ideas to build on the topic sentence or the main idea of your paragraph. These are words like and then, in addition, furthermore, moreover, in effect, as far as, therefore, etc. Another group of important transition words are those that help you compare two things, two ideas. Words like whereas, but, yet, on the other hand, however, nevertheless, on the contrary, where, compared to. Another group helps you prove an idea or make your point. And these words are important because they help with this idea of diction, your word choice. To prove, words are such things as because, for, since, for the same reason, obviously, evidently, furthermore, moreover. Another group helps you show time, especially when you're telling a narrative or an incident. These words are words like immediately, thereafter, soon, after a few hours, finally, then, later, previously. Another group helps you emphasize a point when you really want to hit something home. These words are definitely, extremely, obviously, in fact, in any case, absolutely, positively, unquestionably, without a doubt, certainly, undeniably, without reservation. Another group helps you give an example. This is an important idea for SEE when you're trying to elaborate on your point. These are words like as an example, to illustrate, for example, for instance, take the case of. And the last group we're going to talk about today are transition words that help you conclude in your conclusion at the end of a paragraph or at the end of the paper itself. In sum, in conclusion, in brief, hence, therefore, accordingly, thus, as a result, consequently, finally, in the end, at last. And to find out more about these words, you can look into your troubleshooting guide, pages 84 to 85, or 98 and 99. Consider varying the placement of transition words. Just as transition words help with the idea of diction or word choice, where you place them helps with your sentence fluency, your syntax. You can use transition words at the beginning of a sentence. For example, in addition, baseball taught me. In the middle of a sentence, my parents, on the other hand, had other ideas. And even at the end of a sentence, the race wasn't over yet, however. You can try repeating key words as you end one sentence or paragraph and start another. The key to producing good transitions is highlighting connections between corresponding paragraphs. By referencing in one paragraph the relevant material from a previous one, writers can develop important points for the reader. It's also a good idea to continue one paragraph where another leaves off. By picking up key phrases from the previous paragraph and highlighting them in the next, it can create an obvious progression for readers. Here's an example. Overall, my profits from the lemonade stand increased every month by 500%. Then you could start the next paragraph. These impressive profits were largely due to my expanding locations. Another transitional device is to use synonyms of keywords rather than repeating the word. It's a little bit more subtle, but it's also very effective. For example, as in the picture, swift for fast or brave for valiant. Amy Tam became a famous author after her novel, The Joy Luck Club, skyrocketed up to the bestseller list. Next, first sentence, next paragraph. Though her fiction is well known, her work in music receives far less publicity. Perhaps my favorite transition technique is to use parallel structure of sentences. That creates a certain tension, a certain urgency, a certain rhythm in your writing. We had a good example of this in one of the This I Believe essays. Coolness to the pizza delivery dude is a practice in humility and forgiveness. The next paragraph begins, coolness to the pizza delivery dude is a practice in empathy. Repeating a beginning phrase can be really effective. This idea of cohesiveness, cohesion in your writing is important as you work on your drafting. And looking at it in two levels is helpful. One, at the paragraph level, how do the sentences within a paragraph build and work together, connect together to build your point? And then how do the paragraphs connect with one another, the overall effect of the paper as a whole.